I'm Michael V, and this is Arcade Guts. I love fighting games, but not all fighters are created equal.
Released in 1992 for the arcade powerhouse that was the Neo Geo is The Art of Fighting. This game's story is pretty simple. However, you must take into account that this is a fighting game, a genre that is not well known for its in-depth storylines. So, the plot is, Ryu's sister, Yuri, is kidnapped by Mr. Big, and you must save her. So, you go off playing like a detective with a heavy hand, systematically beating answers out of Mr. Big's lackeys, until you finally work your way to the top, where you will face Mr. Big himself. This game plays like a clunky version of Street Fighter II, and for good reason. Most fighting games that were released in 1992 were set up to compete with or ride on the success of Street Fighter II, which was released a year earlier. So, as a result, we have characters like Ryu, who is clearly an adaptation of Ryu from Street Fighter. See, Ryu has a special move called the Hadouken, which is clearly a ripoff of Street Fighter's Hadouken. However, the Hadouken is clearly a ripoff of the Kamehameha wave from the comic Dragon Ball, which was released several years before Street Fighter. So, the moral of the story? In the early 90s, fighting games were ripping each other off left and right. The Art of Fighting's character roster leaves much to be desired, especially in the single-player mode, where you can only choose between two characters. They did this so the story mode would make sense, and we would not end up with any mirror matches. However, it is a sad day in fighting games when your character choice can be made by the flip of a coin. Now, the Art of Fighting is not without its innovations. It's just that those innovations really don't have much to do with the ultimate outcome of the game. This game's big claim to fame is introducing one of the most annoying gimmicks in the history of fighting games, the Spirit Gauge. When characters perform a special technique, their Spirit Gauge is depleted and their special attack becomes weaker, ultimately making it so you cannot use your special attack until you build up your Spirit Gauge again. Yeah, make the coolest thing in fighting games. The special moves? Limited. Dumbasses. This game also gives us taunting, which is just as it sounds. So, why would you want to trash talk your opponent? Other than you just being an asshole, taunting depletes your opponent's Spirit Gauge. One innovation, however, I thought was very cool: the camera. Most fighting games of the day had a relatively stationary camera. However, in The Art of Fighting, the camera will zoom in when the players are close together and zoom out when they are far away. making for a very dynamic visual for the time period in gaming. After you defeat Mr. Big, you are encountered by a new fighter, by the extremely cheesy name of Mr. Karate. And this is the final boss of the game. And to be honest, beating him is mostly luck. He will kick your ass all over the place. So, after all your hard work, what's the game ending that you get? Well, here it is.
覇王やめてお兄ちゃんユリ大丈夫か心配したんだぞユリ私は何ともないのお兄ちゃんその人私たちの
To be continued? That's bullshit. What if my local arcade doesn't get the next game? Then I will never know the end to the story. This blows. This game is really nothing special. It's a blatant ripoff of Street Fighter 2. So if you want to play a game that plays like Street Fighter, play Street Fighter. If you want something different but was made around the same time, play Mortal Kombat. This game is a waste of time. I give Art of Fighting a 2 out of 5. So until next time, I'm Michael V, and this has been Arcade Guts.